wabarakatuh. My name is Ajeng Lita Pinti. I will present the progress of reading books Stay with Morrie, which work on this final project with Morrie, the last class of the professor life that takes place every Tuesday. The subject is life that comes from experience. No grades are given, but there is an oral exam every week, and which did physical tasks like helping the professor head into a comfortable place or putting his glasses on the bridge of his nose. No books are required, but many topics are covered, including love, work, community, family, aging, forgiveness, and finally death. The final lecture is short, just a few words. A funeral was held in lieu of graduation, although no final exam is given, which is expected to produce a paper on what he has studied. The paper is presented in the book Space with Morrie. In late spring 1979, Mitch graduated from college and met Morrie's work, his favorite professor, and introduced him to Mitch's parents. His death sentence was handed down in the summer of 1994. Looking back, Morrie knew something that was coming. He knew that the day he stopped dancing, once he brought a tango tape and asked them to play it over the loudspeaker. When he finished, everyone clapped. Finally, on a hot, humid day in August 1994, Morrie and his wife Charlotte went to the neurologist's office, and he asked them to sit down before he broke the news. Morrie has amyotrophic lateral sclerosis (ALS). There is no known cure. Morrie asked the doctor if he was going to die. The doctor said yes. The doctor sat with Morrie and his wife for 2 hours to answer their question. When they left, the doctor gave them information about ALS on discharge from the hospital. Morrie's wife is at a loss as to how to pay the bill. Meanwhile, Morrie is taken back when people are busy with his work and he feels like no one cares about him. This ALS disease takes over Morrie's life. Dr. Morris guessed he had 2 years left. Morrie knew it was lucky, but he made a big decision. He began to build a strong determination to make that his last project, the center point of his days. Eventually, which worked for the newspaper in a few years, is not only written a column, is also written a sport book, did a radio show, and appeared regularly on TV, telling his opinion on rich soccer players and hypocritical college sport programs. Mitch thought about Morrie occasionally, the things Morrie had taught him about being human and connecting with other people, but was always distant as if from another life. Over the years, he discarded all emails that came from Brandeis University, thinking they were just asking for money. Mitch met Morrie on the phone in the car. He turned off the engine and got out of the chair, as if he was looking for something. Mitch was surprised by such affection after all these years. He had forgotten how close we used to be, which only hoped that in the next few hours he could trick Morrie. Inside the house, they sat at the dining room table by the window that peered into the neighbor's house. Morrie was busy in his wheelchair, trying to be comfortable as usual. "You want to feed me?" and I said, "Fine." Mitch didn't realize it. His last class with Morrie had just begun. They had been talking there for almost 2 hours. Mitch didn't understand why Morrie had received him so warmly. After all, they had not seen each other for 16 years. If it weren't for Nightline, Morrie might have died without ever seeing him again. Morrie gave him lots of questions. Mitch realized he had tried many dreams for a bigger salary and he never even realized it. Mitch went to London a few weeks later. Suddenly, for some reason, he found himself thinking of Morrie every time he read something silly or meaningless. Mitch thought of something else Morrie had taught him. So many people live meaningless lives. They seem half asleep, even when they're busy doing the things they think are important. It's because they're chasing the wrong things. Your life means devoting yourself to loving others, serving the community around you, and devoting yourself to creating something that gives you purpose and meaning. Every time they talk, life listened to his ramblings, and he tried to teach some kind of life lesson. Morrie warns him that money is not the most important thing, contrary to popular view on campus. Morrie tells him that he has to become a fully human. Morrie talks about the alienation of young people and the need for connection with the communities around them.